American Honey is a decent art film, but it's very long and not for everybody. Hiya, I'm ThatJaymsWisdom, and this week's film review is of American Honey, which is a coming-of-age film about a young girl joining up with a group of others like her and travelling across America selling magazines. The plot centres around an 18-year-old girl named Star who lives in Southern America and is played by Sasha Lane. In the beginning, we see her looking after two young children and are introduced to their circumstances, showing them living in a very poor, underprivileged environment. She then meets up with a group of young people around her own age who stop at a local convenience store on their way through the town. She catches the attention of one of this group, a charismatic guy named Jake, played by Shia LaBeouf, who offers her a job selling magazines door to door. She accepts and joins up with them as they travel from town to town across the US, making some money and discovering themselves as they go. Along the way, Star tries to live by her own moral code and navigate the relationships with the people that are around her. And that's what this film is all about. It's about the story of this girl travelling across America, and there's no grander narrative to tie it all together. In terms of cinema and filmmaking, this is really the kind of thing that's made for critics, academics, and students of film. In fact, it regularly comes across as very much like a student film, being shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, using texture and wildlife shots for metaphor and transition, and being shot in generally quite an artistic way. It's a film all about the restlessness of youth and moving from one place to the next, and that's reflected in the way it's directed, shot, and in the plot itself. In terms of plot, we just move from one event to the next, and with the exception of the introduction where we establish the character, there isn't much of a development of story. It's also very, very long, 2 hours and 45 minutes long in fact, and it certainly feels it. There were several points where I was distracted from it by wondering when it was going to end and had to check my watch to see what time it was. This is in part due to the lack of the overarching continual plot, but also because of the fact that it's shot in a very artistic way. And it leads to a film that, whilst it's quite good, doesn't feel particularly enjoyable to watch. That said, it isn't a bad film and I didn't dislike it. In fact, I found myself thinking about it quite a lot after I'd finished watching it and appreciate it in retrospect. But I would say that this film is definitely not a film for mass audience. It is much more for people that are interested in film studies or film criticism. As such, I can't say I'd recommend it to most people, but if you're into film and prepared for a very long, not massively narratively satisfying watch, you might want to go and check this one out. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I've been ThatJaymsWisdom. Keep smiling and thank you very kindly. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to check out more of my reviews, they're linked beside me, and you can also check me out on Twitter where you'll see short tweeted reviews for every film I see.